Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to write a poem on love. Today is Thursday, the 13th of February 2020. So it's Valentine's tomorrow. You can send this poem to your Valentines if you like. So again, another kind of real world writing task is useful in the real world. Now, we are going to read some sample texts first to try to understand the meaning, and then we will have a closer look at how this kind of poem is, how the ideas are put together in this kind of poem later on, and what you are going to do exactly to finish your work. So I'll read sample text 1 first. Love is like a storybook. It has different chapters. There are different characters too. It is often unpredictable. Love is like a rose. It's very beautiful and romantic, but it can also hurt you if you are not careful, because it has thorns. Love is like clay. It can take many different shapes. You can mold it, but it can also be destroyed easily. Love is like a glass. You need to handle it with care. You can try to fix it if you break it, but it doesn't look the same anymore. So that's sample text 1. You can see that there are 4 topics or similes: storybook, rose, clay, and glass. So you need to have 4 similes in each poem. It is how this kind of poem is written. And then, oops, what's wrong? Okay, my computer is misbehaving. No need. Okay, continue. So there are 4 topics in this kind of poem, yeah, and then 4 stanzas. That means 4 paragraphs. Any difficult words? Unpredictable. You actually is one of the vocabulary items we learned. That means if you have forgotten, it means you won't know what will happen next in a story. And thorns, the things that hurt you, yeah, for roses. Anything else? Clay is a kind of toy kids like. Comes in different colors, and then you can mold it and then into different shapes, mold it. So even though you make it into a certain shape, like you can make it into shapes of heart, or you can mold it into what else? A very long, thin shape. Whatever shapes it takes, you can destroy it easily because you can mold it, right? And then glass, handle it with care. So maybe when you move it around or when you wash it, so you handle it. So you need to be careful, and then other words are kind of easy. Okay, so this is a sample text 1. It's kind of in some parts it's kind of sad, right? Sample text 2. Love is like playing mobile phone games. You like it very much at the beginning, but there's also a day when you'll give it up. It doesn't last forever. Love is like doing mathematics. Some people are very good at it. They enjoy it so much, but I can't understand this. Love is like going on a trip. You may plan to do a lot of things, but you can never follow your plan. You may even get lost. Love is like waiting for the bus. When you wait for it, it never comes. It comes when you least expect it. So this one is also kind of a sad poem. Okay, focus on the meaning first. Doesn't last forever. That means it will stop being there. Last, okay, as a verb, not an adjective. Any other difficult words? No. Maybe expect. So expect is when you think that something will happen, you expect it to happen. It's about the thinkings, your ideas in your mind. Okay, some quick comments. Maybe this student had some bad experience in dating someone. I don't know. Actually, I said this in class last year, love, you can focus on some good things. You can also have something bad to share. Okay, but I don't think that students can write something like this if he or she has had no bad experience. You can kind of use your creativity or express, or that means share your feelings, no matter if it is happy or unhappy. That's what's special about this task. Next one this one is a picture one of the students drew last year. Okay, you can include it in your work. Sample text 3. Love is like sand. You can try to catch it, but it can't be held. It's still there when it slips away. Love is like an ocean. It's infinite, but you need to go far and deep because you can't swim at the shore. Love is like a universe. No one knows how big it is. It is so endless and eternal, but one day it may come to an end. Love is like a door. You can open it or it will be opened. Feel free to come in, feel free to go out. So this one is again, it's kind of sad. Okay, sorry, difficult words first. Infinite, that means you can't see the end or the lines, the so-called lines, right? When an ocean is very large, you can't see where the land is. The land is when there's no water and when you can walk. Okay, so it's an ocean is infinite. Shore will be the land, yeah, not the ocean part. For example, at the beach, the shore will be the part where there's sand, yeah, shore. Universe is another word for space, is where the moon is. Eternal, that means forever. Very if it is still there after 1,000 years or 1 million years or no matter how many years, so it's eternal, happening for or going to be there for a long time. Eternal. Endless is another kind of word, a different word for infinite. So you have to choose your vocabulary items carefully. If you don't say endless all the time, you try to change the words. I'll talk about this more later. Okay, this one is easy. So I think these three poems are difficult, are easy to understand after reading it and looking at them together. So let's take a look at what you are going to do. You are going to write a poem of love, of course. Going back to the sample page first. You are going to write a poem of love, something like this. Yeah, around 80 words. So there are 4 stanzas. That means 4 paragraphs. Stanzas are the paragraphs in the poem. 4 paragraphs are 4 stanzas, and then in each stanza there are 4 lines. For each stanza, it should be around 20 words. So altogether around 80 words is here. Okay, one poem, blah blah blah. And then one mind map. Before you write a poem, you have to you have to make a mind map, something like this, to help you, think about the ideas. And mind map is our all-time favorite, right? So anything else? You do this. Can I just go back to here? Yes. Please do your mind map and write your poem on A4 sized pieces of paper. It can be blank or single lined. So talking about let me talk about the mind map first. How you're going to write the mind map. Before you write, you have to have enough ideas. As I always say in class, do not write whatever comes to your mind. You have to plan your writing carefully. It is what good writers do. So you use the mind map to help you think of enough ideas. So think of 4 similes on love. The similes are the topics in this in the poem. It has to show that show how love is like. A simile is something showing how something else tastes, feels, or tastes, feels, looks. Yeah, something showing how something else feels, tastes, looks, etc. So I don't know. If you think that I have very dark skin, and you say that I am a barbecue charcoal, the thing you have to light So if you think, let me put it like this: charcoal is a simile for people who have dark skin, because charcoal looks very dark. It's black in color. So if something shows that shows how another item, another thing is like, so it is a simile. Yeah. So in the poem there is a word like, showing that it is a simile. The simile for storybook is a simile for love. Yeah. So it's not a verb. Like is not a verb here. Is like. So like should be, and I guess it's an adjective. Let me just double check. I don't want to give you wrong information. But like is definitely, surely not a verb in the sentence. Love is like. Yeah. Be like, is like. Yeah. Is it this? No, not this meaning. Okay, it's actually a preposition. Looks like, just like, very much like. So it's a preposition or a conjunction meaning similar to. Oh, good. That's interesting. Okay, actually this part is not planned. I will have a look at the dictionary entry for like later. Yeah, but anyway, it's not a verb, not the verb meaning enjoy or want, but it shows two things are similar. Okay, going back, so you need to think of 4 similes on love. Do not repeat what we have seen in the samples. Yeah, use your own ideas. From the examples we have seen, it can be items like storybook, rose, clay, blah blah blah. It can also be activities like playing mobile phone games, doing mathematics, going on a trip, or waiting for the bus. Do not repeat these ideas, but feel free to use activities that you do as a simile, because they are also nouns, right? Gerunds, adding an ing ending to a verb, and then so that the verb can be used as a noun. So it has to be something, a noun. Yeah, 4 similes. After you have 4 similes, so let's take a look at the sample mind map. Here I have already color coded it, 4 colors, 4 similes. Yeah, storybook, rose, glass, and clay. So 4 similes. After you have come up with 4 similes, you have to develop the ideas more, have 3 or more sub levels. Yeah, think about how, if you choose clay, think about think of more ideas about clay and more. Yeah, so clay has different shapes, right? So you can mold it or you can destroy it. So after you have more ideas, you can repeat it, continue getting more ideas. My suggestion is at least 3. You can also have 5, just like the blue one. Yeah, the rose one is also 5 more ideas. Yeah, and then it looks quite nice if you have more layers. That means more levels. Yeah, 4. Develop at least 3 more ideas for each of the similes, and then think about how you want to talk about the similes. It helps you to develop the ideas. Yes. If you think that you do not have enough ideas, that means you have, if you're stuck, like, okay, I think that love is like clay, and then you're stuck, no more ideas, then delete it and then change it to something else. Think of another idea. So I think you should do this when you're doing writing, no matter it is a poem on love, like what we are doing now, or when you're doing other writing activities, yeah, like the ones in the exam. When you do not have enough ideas for a topic, you delete it and then you change it to something else and come up with another main idea. Yeah, so the similes are the main ideas in the poem. So after you, okay, and do not use complete sentences in the mind map. Please use keywords. You can study the example and it shows it very clearly, and you can read the sample text together with the mind map and compare how they are. Let me just adjust the size of the windows. You can actually put it side by side. Oops. Let me just do this. Put it side by side and see how they are different. So love, for example, here love, the main topic is love, and then the first simile is clay. That is the first main idea. You don't say love and then in this circle you don't put the whole sentence. You don't say is like clay. Then what's the difference between the mind map and your poem? So you only use keywords in your poem, okay? And then change your main ideas, transfer your main ideas to, complete sentences in the poem. Yeah, so that means you have to think of the subject and the verb. Here in the mind map, maybe no verb. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, depending on whether the verb is carries the main idea. Yeah. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on this. And then one stanza for each simile. We have already talked about this. Start the first line of each stanza with love is like, and then put in your simile, and then continue writing the stanza. Yeah, so you can see in each poem and in each stanza, the first line is love is like blah blah blah. Love is like blah blah blah. Yeah, you repeat this 4 times. You have 4 similes, so you can have 4 stanzas. Yeah. Think about how to order your similes, how to order the ideas within each stanza. So let me just do it very quickly. Again, this has to be done before you actually write the poem. For example, once you have the mind map, you have enough ideas, then you may number the circles or the cells 1, 2, 3, and 4 to remind yourself of the order of the ideas. So Clay, glass, storybook, and rose. Which one comes first? Right? Storybook is the one that has nothing unhappy. So here in this poem, it comes first. This will be the first stanza. Nothing unhappy. And then in the second stanza, there is something unhappy or something bad is the thorns, and then destroyed easily, something bad. So, and then the last one, everything, almost everything is sad. So you see that there's a change from nothing unhappy to something unhappy and something unhappy, and almost everything is unhappy. You have to order your ideas. Also in your so that's how you order your simile and your stanzas, your similes and stanzas. I repeat, after you have the ideas, and then you order, right? After you order the similes, actually in each of the simile, you should also think about the idea. For example, for the storybook one, do you talk about characters first or the chapters first? And then unpredictable first. So here is if you change it to if you change unpredictable, and if you put it in line 2, it's kind of strange to me. Love is like a storybook. It is unpredictable. Of course, storybooks are unpredictable. But after talking about unpredictable, you suddenly go back to talk about chapters and characters. So it will sound very strange if you order your ideas within a stanza like this. So it's better to talk about chapters and characters. They are the basic things about a story. Yeah, about a story. It's better to talk about these things first before you talk about unpredictable. So you see that you have to order your main ideas. Here is the similes. Order the stanzas first, and after you fixed this order for each of them, for each of the main idea, you also have to order your ideas. Yeah, as I said, maybe you can put 1, 2, 3, 4 next to the cells in your mind map to help you. This is what you should work more on, because I told you many times that you should not write whatever comes to your mind. If you do this, your writing will not be a nice one, usually. Yeah. So yeah. Lastly, after you have finished ordering the ideas and writing, you title your poem "Love is ... I forgot the name of this punctuation. Is it ellipsis? I've opened the dictionary. Let me have a very quick look. Ellipsis. Yeah, the punctuation mark. Where's the cursor? This meaning, yeah, the ... So title your poem "Love is," and then ellipsis. I've already set the title for you. You don't have to change it. Then once you have enough ideas and you have ordered your ideas, then you can start writing it. Then when you start writing it, do not worry about the ideas. What you should be thinking about is the grammar. You have to use suitable forms of countable or uncountable nouns. So here, clay is uncountable, then you just say love is like clay. Do not add a or add the plural s. But for storybook, it is countable. So you have to say love is like a storybook, or love is like storybooks. Either you say a storybook or storybooks. If you just say storybook without a, it's wrong because it's a countable noun. Okay. Choose a good subject. So again, it has something to do with your order of ideas and what you are going to say. Remember, the subject is the topic of the sentence or the clause. So it's a very important place. Choose it carefully, because there can be active or passive. So it here in this sample text, it means storybook. So if you want to continue to use storybook as the topic, then you use it. You do not change the subject. Yeah, here you change the subject because to there are, because if you repeat it is, it's kind of boring. You see that the last line is also it is. Yeah, so you have to change the vocabulary or the words that you use. Choose a good subject. It. Now here, yes, I think I have a better example on subject here. Love is like clay. It can take many different shapes. So it means the clay. It refers to the clay. Fine. Here in the third line, the subject has been changed to you, but not it. But you see that the next sentence, you know, it or the next clause, the subject is it. So if you don't want to repeat it all the time, then you have to think about this as well. Of course you can use it, but number one, it's very boring. It, 3 lines. Number two, it can be molded. So I think this student has chosen to use you because it's like talking to the reader. Yeah, so you have to choose a good subject. Any other interesting points? No, nothing else. So next one, use the present simple unless you have reasons to use other tenses. Why? To keep it simple, you should be very familiar, or you should know this very well. If something is true in the past, now, and you think that it will continue to be true in the future, past, now, future, all true, then we use present simple. Yeah, if you think that love is like doing mathematics today, probably yesterday you had the same feeling, and tomorrow you are going to have the same feeling. So present simple, not just yesterday and tomorrow, but last week and next week, or probably last year and next year. Okay, it doesn't change. Let's put it like this, it doesn't change all the time. Then we use the present simple, and then use conjunctions to show your ideas clearly, and use suitable punctuation marks. So you can notice that in the sample text there are words like but. Okay, sorry, I think in the previous video, you know, in the middle something went wrong. So I think I was just talking about the pronouns. Yeah, not the pronouns, sorry, the conjunctions and the punctuation marks in the poems. So let's continue. So there's a but here, there's a because here. So if you use conjunctions, of course you put a full stop. Sorry, you do not put a full stop. You put a comma, because you add another clause before you finish the sentence. You can also use ellipses, the ... punctuation mark, to show an unhappy feeling. Sorry, I'm kind of making a lot of mistakes because it's late. Need to finish this quickly. Okay, right, conjunctions and punctuation marks. Yeah, conjunctions, but, because, what else? I think there's a when here. And in the last sample, also but, because, and but, right? So continue. The last step is to check your poem. Okay, it's not that you finished writing and then, oh, you can submit it. It's better for you to check your poem first before you finish working. So first you look at the words you use and their spelling. Yeah, I don't think I have to talk about much on spelling, you just check the spelling. For the words that you use, I would like to talk about to focus on the choice of vocabulary items. For example, it's infinite. So infinite means it's very big. So you don't just use very big, but you try to use a nicer vocabulary item that is infinite. And also is because in sample text 3 in this poem, here you also used big already, so it's better for you not to repeat it and to change it to another vocabulary item. Another point is the subject. Yeah, focus on the subject to check your subject. So I think I talked about let me just find that part. Yeah, this part, you can mold it. Now if you don't like if you choose it to be the subject, not you, then it will become, it can take many different shapes. It can be molded. You need to use the passive. Yeah, it can be molded. So if you don't like repeating the subject it so often, maybe you can change the subject to you. So you don't have to use it can be molded, and you use you as the subject to avoid the passive. Yeah, so check the subjects and rewrite part or parts of your poem. This will be another example. This one. In the first draft last year, this part was, this stanza was, love is like a universe. It is very big. It is endless. It is eternal. Yeah, so it is, 3 lines. So maybe you can rewrite this part, especially if you haven't got enough words. It's too short. Yeah, remember each stanza in each stanza there should be around 20 words. So if you change to it is endless, it is eternal. So I move the eternal to this line in line 3 to put it together with endless, and then you continue talking about what eternal means. So one day it may come to an end. It explains what eternal means. It talks more about the word eternal. So it is one way to have more words, and you can do this in the final step when you check your poem. So I think I skipped the verb forms, skipped this point, because I was talking about the subject and the rewriting. Yeah, so for the verb forms, it includes the tenses. So I think I mentioned earlier that you should use the present simple unless you have other special reasons to use other tenses. Excuse me, sorry. Another thing to check will be, for the verb forms, will be the gerunds. So pay attention if you use activities as the simile, so if you choose to use an activity as your simile, make sure that you use gerunds. That means a verb ending in ing and then used like a noun. Yeah, so it should be love is like and then gerund phrase. You should not use the verb alone here. If you write something like love is like play mobile phone games, it's wrong because there are 2 verbs, like and play. So you have to change the activity to a gerund form, playing here. So be careful, you need to check your verb forms. Lastly, is to share your poem after you finish writing everything and rewriting everything. What do you mean by share your poem? Now, basically, you share your poem with me because I am your reader. I'm going to read your poem and mark your poem. So you can't avoid this, even though you don't like this idea. Now, you can also share it with your boyfriend or your girlfriend. That means your valentine, your lover. You can share your poem with them. But if you do this, of course, your poem has to be a happy one. Okay, but from the sample texts we've been looking at, it seems that they are not very happy poems because that's what I talked about in class last year. So okay, of course, if your poems are unhappy and you still want to share it with real people, maybe you can choose, sorry, I clicked the wrong file. You can share it with your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend. That means you have already broken up. So if in case your poem is a sad one and you are talking about them, but please don't say that I'm the one suggesting you doing this if you share it with your ex-lovers. Anyway, you can share it with me. You will be sharing your poem with me, as I said, because I'm your reader. I always say that you are my babies because how should I put it? At home, you are your parents' baby, and then at school, teachers take the role of parents. So that's why I treat you like babies. So in some ways, some people say that parents, sons and daughters are the valentines of parents. That means you are also your mother and your father are also your valentines. Yeah, you are valentines to each other. Yeah, so if a teacher takes the role of the parents, that means teachers are also your valentines and students are teachers' valentines as well. So I think this is a really good homework item to do on Valentine's Day. So anyway, I hope that you are going to have a very happy Valentine Day. Please take very good care and stay healthy. Oh, I've forgotten this point. Maybe you can draw some pictures. Please do not draw pictures before you finish writing or when you're writing. Yeah, you should only draw pictures after you finish writing. That's the last point in the notes. These materials, the notes, that means the poem, the sample texts, the mind map, the sample mind map, and this instruction sheet can be found in the video, in the links below the video on YouTube. Sorry, I'm making really a lot of mistakes because it's really late. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you very soon in other videos.